Hey everybody, Monty here. So, SPV Math. This is for our pre-calculus students. I'm Monty, and today is March 14th. It's Pi Day. Are you dressed for Pi? Got my biker version here and a different version of Pi because you're pre-calc. You guys all know where Pi comes from already. So, without further ado, let's talk about this week's expectations. Right now, Caitlin, you're the only one. But just in case other students join, we'll make this generic. All right, so the very first thing, teams. Here's our generic SPV math team for all the math students where I am the teacher of record. Okay? Now, each class kind of has its own individual items that are needed, and in PreCalc I thought, hey, we better make sure that we have our own channel. So you can find stuff here, but let's go to our PreCalc Honors SPV team. Alright, so we've got our join links, we have our expectations, and this week, okay, can we log into Clever? Can we log into PreCalc? Can we find Math Excel? EC Bridge doesn't work. And can we use our login codes? Watch this video tutorial, the one that I'm making now, to get started with Math Excel. And when I'm done, I'm going to have the stream channel at the top here so that all the stuff we make for PreCalc goes right here. And don't worry about the grade and the amount of work to be done because these problems take time. Whew, unbelievable. Also, Mr. Miller has an actual envelope with this PreCalc cheat sheet. Okay, so I will figure out a way to get that to you. Alright, Caitlin. Okay, we're in Unit 5. Let's just try to get one assignment done this week, depending on your skill level. Okay, and you'll see why here in a minute. Let's enjoy math. Alright, and without further ado, I know you, and you know how to find the internet. You know how to find Clever, and you know how to find Blackboard. So let's get started. Okay, so as you scroll around, could be tons and tons and tons of classes, especially for pre-calc students because you've been at Shadle for a while now, right? And you've got lots of classes. So you might have to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and find semester 2 for 2020 to find this class. Another way to do it is to click on current classes and go to semester 2. Once you find PreCalc Honors, I would bookmark it. That's just an opinion. Alright, item number 1, coursework. No. Item number 1 is the announcement. So this week is Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. Let's enjoy ourselves. Expectations. 2 days a week we do math. Log in with Math Excel. Use your login codes. Your login code is going to be your email and Math 2020 with a capital M. Extra video tutorials are found in coursework. Oh, I'm going to tweak that in a minute. Coursework Unit 5. So, coursework. We are here. We are here. And here's the identities. Okay? If you've never done the identities, take some time and watch these. That's why volume of work, especially in PreCalc, is not a requirement to get an A. Alright? The key is to digest what we're doing because this first part with trig identities will make life a lot easier. And as you and I have already chatted, the key to success is going to be analytical trigonometry, not vectors. Systems and matrices I'd like to spend a little time. Probability is not a difficult task, so we can spend as much time or as little time as we need to. We definitely want to hit this. The idea of PreCalc is to prepare you for calculus, so we want to get here. Every time you see the word easy bridge, it's broken. Broken, broken. Does not work. Okay? Does not work. It's not going to work. We want to use Math Excel for schools. Just click here, and we'll do that in a second. We've already chatted scientific calculator is broken and it's not going to work. We definitely want you to have a TI or the Wabbit, or, okay, we'll find other items for you. And the graphing calculator is Desmos. It's really nice, got a little learning curve. I'm constantly going to keyboard shortcuts, and just for the case in point, square root, we definitely need to be able to type some of these items, okay? So, and there's other ones, right, for the arctangent, stuff like that. Okay, I think that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Okay, so now let's go click on Math Excel. Okay, once you click on Math Excel, it's going to be your email address and Math 2020 with a capital M. Okay, all right, so go ahead and try that. And when you get there, you're going to see PreCalculus B. Okay, so yours looks like the top of the page, teacher looks like the bottom. So just click homework and tests, and you will see all these assignments. Okay, don't worry about the volume. The key is working through them. Okay, and we're all at different skill levels, so it's no big deal if a problem takes you 15 minutes, because some of them do, especially if you have to write them out and then you got to answer them online. Okay, we got some quizzes, we have some assessments. That's not the key to getting an A in this class. All right, click on the first assignment, click on the first problem, and then when you're here, you're like, basic identities, simplify each expression. You're going to be all at different levels. Okay, you definitely want to have a cheat sheet, and for right now, cheat sheet item number 1, the trig identity cheat sheet. Unfortunately, the one that I have is on the side, so if you've never seen one of these, we'll work together, we'll get through it. Okay, and so that is in your announcement page. Okay, and the beauty of Math Excel, I have no idea what this is. How am I supposed to know that the answer to this problem is cosine? Huh? How do I know it's cosine? Question help. Help me solve. Works on every problem. View an example. So let's do an example here. Okay? Use the basic identities to simplify the expression secant x times cosine x. Secant x, we need to rewrite secant x in terms of sines and cosines. Well, secant x is 1 over cosine. Look at your identity sheet. Secant theta is 1 over cosine theta. 1 over cosine times cosine. Cosine divided by cosine is 1. The answer is 1? Seriously? Ding, ding, ding. Oh, whoa. Okay, cotangent. Cotangent. Okay, tangent is sine over cosine. And tip this. Tangent. Tangent. Tangent is 1 over cotangent. Cotangent. Tangent. Tangent is sine over cosine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. Cosine over sine. Sine divided by cosine is 1 cosine. The answer is just cosine. No. C-O-S. Let's see. I used to do this. Let's see how that works. Cosine only. So it doesn't like that. Let's see. Can we just put the x right next to it? Awesome. Okay. So now we have other ones, right? Where we have to have these identities, right? Sine y equals secant pi over 2 minus y. And here we go. Okay, so minus theta, right? So the sine pi over 2 if you remember our curves, sine and cosine curve, pi over 2 shifted at 90 degrees, so we have an identity, right? So sine becomes cosine, secant pi is cosecant. So this is cosecant y, cosecant is 1 over sine. Sine 1 over sine is 1. Oh my gosh, seriously? Okay, these can take some time. I want you to relax. I want you to kind of goof around. I want you to view the examples. Some of these don't have video tutorials. You and I can work together. Click Ask the Instructor. Identities. Really? Okay, and then send it to me and we can create videos or whatever it takes for you to feel more successful. Each week I like to do the first problem and the last problem in this video. So cotangent times tangent. Cotangent, tangent, those are the inverses, aren't they? Right? So we have tangent, cotangent. Tangent times cotangent is 1. Cotangent times tangent is 1. Cotangent times secant, cotangent. Cosine over sine. Secant. Cosine over sine. Secant 1 over cosine. Cosines cancel. Sine. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Cosine, sine. 1. The first one is 1 minus cosine. 1 minus cosine x. These reciprocal identities. Okay, I should be writing this out, shouldn't I? And I didn't open up my whiteboard. Cotangent times tangent is 1. Cosine over sine. I wonder if that's squared. Okay. Alright, so let's write this out. Okay, you see how long these take? Alright, so cotangent is cosine x sine x times sine x cosine x minus 1 over, now cosecant, let's make sure secant 1 over cosine, 1 over cosine. This times this is 1. This times this is... Cosine x over sine x cosine x. Cosines cancel. Okay, so my mistake was right here. It's 1 over the sine. 1 over sine. And 1 over sine is cosecant. Cosecant x. I left that little asterisk, so see how difficult this can be? Alright, so let's hit save. And just for fun, change sine to cosine. Let's try another one. Okay, now tangent, cosecant. Use basic trigonometric, so tangent, sine, cosine, over cosecant squared. Cosecant squared, where's our squareds? So we don't have cosecant squared. Cosecant squared plus tan x over secant squared x. So cosecant is nothing more than 1 over sine squared plus tan, that's sine cosine over secant, 1 over cosecant cosine squared. Sine cosine. Alright? Sine cosine 1 over secant, 1 over secant. So we're going to multiply here. We have to have common denominators. So sine squared over cosine plus sine cosine squared over cosine. We can add because we have common denominator, sine squared plus cosine squared all over cosine tangent x. I wonder, just for the fun of it, tangent x. No, we don't need a space. Okay, alright. So, you and I can get together to talk about this. First of all, tan x is nothing more than sine over cosine. Tan x is nothing more than sine over cosine. The cosecant was 1 over sine squared. Secant is 1 over cosine squared. Well, when you divide by a fraction, you have to flip it, multiply it. Right? Multiply by the reciprocal. So we end up with cosine on the bottom. I'm going to factor out a sine. And then my final trig identity was cosine squared plus sine squared is equal to 1. Okay? So, don't stress. These take, gosh, we've been on this for 13 minutes, and they're trig identities, and I used to have to do this for a living. Okay? We're not going to get these assignments completely done. Alright? So, key to success. Find our team. Clever. Blackboard. PreCalc. Math Excel. Log in. Give it a try. And then you and I will spend some time with these videos on trig identities. Have a great Pi week, everybody. Bye-bye.